Hi there folks, welcome back to my channel, and yes, this video is not my usual content, but the weather has gotten the better of me over the past week and a half, because since I was up at the Hill of Tarvet at the Scottish Tarvet Tower, which I think must have been not the week just there, but the week before. It's just pretty much been raining ever since then. And I've always been stuck in a day job as well, which hasn't helped. So I thought I'd do something a wee bit different for this video. That I'd look at essentially my top 5 places that I'd recommend anyone who's coming to Scotland for a holiday, for a visit, whatever, that I would recommend having these at least on your list of places to visit. So before I do actually get onto that, if you're enjoying my channel, if you're enjoying my videos, then click on the subscribe button, click on that notification bell, leave some likes, leave some comments. It's always really appreciated. And if you'd like to support the channel further, I will post a link to the channel's coffee.com page, the channel's PayPal account, and the TikTok account in the description bar below and in the pinned comment in the comment section. So with that out of the road, on to the top 5 places in Scotland that I would recommend anyone to visit if they're coming to visit Scotland. Okay, these are not in any particular order. These are not sites that I'm ranking from 5th place up to 1st place. These are just 5 locations within Scotland that I would say you really need to go to. So the first one that I wrote down for this list was Orkney. And I think there are people out there who do know that Orkney is one of those places in Scotland that is definitely worth going and exploring, spend some time in, just going and seeing what the archipelago has to offer. Because again, Orkney is not just one island, it's a collection of many islands. And there's so much to see, so much to experience, so much to do. And again, I think so many people go up to Orkney and they go to Scarabray, they go to the Ring of Brodgar. But I would also recommend going to places like, even going and exploring Kirkwall. They've got St Magnus's Cathedral, you've got one of 2 Bishop's Palaces. I think there's one, there is the Bishop's Palace in Kirkwall. There's another one on the mainland. There's the Churchill Barrier, the Italian Chapel. I think unfortunately at the moment the Tomb of the Eagles and the Tomb of the Otters are closed, but I think at least with the Tomb of the Eagles, the people who own the site are working on plans on how to have the site open to the public, but also preserving it for the future. I think at the moment with the Tomb of the Eagles, the visitor centre is still open, it's just the tomb itself was closed. But again, there's so much to see and so much to do in Orkney. There's Kirkwall, Stromness, there's like the Isle of Westray, the Isle of Papa Westray. And the thing is, the shortest recorded flight in the whole world is between the Isle of Westray and the Isle of Papa Westray in Orkney. And I think about 20 years ago, I think it was just over 10 years ago, I actually had the chance of working in Orkney on a Neolithic site, and it was actually on the Isle of Westray. And I'd have loved to have gotten the plane or the flight from Westray to Papa Westray. It was just, at the time, it was just a bit beyond my means financially. But it's something I still want to do and I still want to experience. And Orkney itself has a special place in my heart. Because again, I had the chance of working there as an archaeologist. I had a chance of experiencing Orkney from that perspective, and even if you are just someone who is just interested in archaeology, interested in history, it's definitely somewhere that I would recommend going and visiting. And again, you can get flights up to Orkney, up to Kirkwall, to Kirkwall Airport. I had to remember the name of it there, from both from Glasgow Airport and from Dundee Airport. You can also get the ferry up from Aberdeen. That's where you get the overnight ferry from. You can also get a ferry from John O'Groats and Scrabster, and Scrabster is near Thurso. So again, if you're doing like the NC 500s, you can actually get a ferry over to Orkney and do Orkney as well as doing the NC 500. So with Orkney out the roads, the second place I would definitely recommend visiting if you're ever coming to Scotland is Stirling Castle. And okay, I know Stirling Castle is already pretty well known. A lot of people have already done probably quite a few videos on Stirling Castle itself, but I would say is like, from a personal perspective, I actually prefer Stirling Castle to Edinburgh Castle. And I think a lot of it is to do with the fact that I do actually have a lot of very happy memories of being a kid and getting taken to Stirling and getting the chance to explore Stirling Castle and just, okay, not necessarily running riot, but just get the chance to explore the castle itself. And I always remember going to the Great Hall and me and my sister going into like the fireplaces in the Great Hall and looking up and trying to get glances of like the sky from the top of the chimneys. So personally, yeah, like Stirling Castle, a lot of happy memories, a lot of happy times of my life were spent there. And I have to admit, I also just love the vibe of Stirling Castle itself. And again, it has connections to the Royal Stuarts, to Mary Queen of Scots, to James VI and First. It's just one of those good places that just has just a great atmosphere about it, and again, somewhere that I'd always recommend. And again, if you're looking for somewhere that's got a lot of history and a lot of archaeology, the third place that I'd always recommend to go and visit and spend some time in is Kilmartin Glen, which is over in Argyll. It's actually not that far from Inverary. So if you're going to see Inverary Castle, Kilmartin Glen is just up the road. And again, it's packed full of history, it's packed full of archaeology, there's Neolithic sites, there's sandstone circles, there's burial mounds, there's like the Danad's Hill Fort, which is the crown site for the Kings of Dalriada. There's Canashry Castle, Kilmartin Village itself, and again, me coming from having a background in archaeology, definitely somewhere that, yeah, I'm probably kind of a bit biased about anyway, because again, it's just that chock filled with archaeology that, yeah, again, I always remember getting taken there when I was doing undergraduate in archaeology and just loving it from the minute I set foot in the Glen. And again, I've been back to Kilmartin Glen on quite a few occasions. I haven't been back this year, but it is definitely overdue a visit. Definitely need to get back. And again, there is the Kilmartin Museum, which has been totally refurbed. I haven't been to it yet. Definitely need to rectify that. I have been to it previously before the refurb, but again, with all the work that they'll have done on it, it should be amazing. So I do need to go back myself and just explore even more. So the fourth place I would definitely recommend, if you're ever coming to Scotland and maybe looking for somewhere a bit off the beaten track, maybe somewhere that's not as packed with tourists, definitely go to the Paisley Abbey. Okay, it's one of those good places that, yeah, there will probably will always be someone who is in visiting, someone who is wanting to learn about like the history of the building. But I find Paisley Abbey a lot calmer, a lot more peaceful, especially in comparison to somewhere like Glasgow Cathedral. There's always people at Glasgow Cathedral. Again, Glasgow Cathedral is a stunning building, beautiful, and it is definitely worth a visit. But there is something about the atmosphere at the Paisley Abbey that I've always loved. And again, it's got connections to the Royal Stuarts, and it's actually got connections to the present day royal family, and it's also got possible connections to William Wallace as well. So again, one of those places that's just full of history, it's just architecturally just stunning, and definitely somewhere that I would recommend coming and visiting. Again, it's also like a 5-10 minute walk from Gilmore Street Station, and again the trains from Glasgow, which stop at Gilmore Street Station, fairly regular. And I think it's about 10 minutes from Glasgow to Paisley on the express train. So you could easily get from Glasgow Central to the Paisley Abbey in less than half an hour. And if I'm not mistaken, the Paisley Abbey is free entry, and it's just whatever that you want to donate while you're actually there. And again, it's just one of those places that I will always have a soft spot for. And the last place that I'm actually going to recommend for this video, and it's somewhere that I've actually visited previously, is Mount Stuart, which is on the Isle of Bute. So the Mount Stuart itself is actually not that far from the town of Odyssey. It's a short drive, and it's even on the Isle of Bute open top bus tour. And it was one of those buildings that, again, it was the home of, is it the Crichton Stuarts? It's a stunning building, just packed with history, and just even the interior design, the architecture. It's just one of those good places where you walk in through the front door and your jaw drops. You go into the next bit of the building and your jaw drops again. And it's just a stunning, beautiful building, and it's just the way it's just been designed, and the architecture of it just like takes your breath away constantly. So definitely something that I'd recommend if you are want to get off the beaten track, maybe kind of go and see one of the islands. Bute is actually really easy to get to. I think it's 45-minute ferry from Weems Bay to Rossie, and yeah, it's the ferry itself. You can go on as a foot passenger, you can go on with your car, and you can, especially if you're going with your car, you have the whole island to explore. So, okay, definitely somewhere that I would recommend going and visiting and exploring. And okay, as I said at the start of the video, I know this video is a bit different from my usual uploads, my usual content. But again, with the weather being as it's been over the past week and a half, I've not really had the chance to get out and explore as much as I've liked. But again, hopefully, fingers crossed, the weather is going to be improving over the next week. Hopefully I'll get a chance to get out and have more adventures and take you all with me. And yeah, so hopefully, even though this video is a wee bit different from what I usually put up, you all enjoyed it. And again, if you are enjoying my videos, click on that subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.